job this morning because I don't have the parts to carry on with the BSA. This is my Gilera Nordwest, which I don't ride very often. It's sort of a rolling restoration, and I was on the way to the MOT in last year sometime, and suddenly engine stopped, lost all power, nothing. Long story short, broke a cambelt, which is a right pain. I had put a new cambelt on it when I bought it, and I thought, well, I did that not long ago, and then I looked on my little service record notes, and yeah, it had been on there for 9 years. So not surprising. You're supposed to change them every 2 years, I think, something like that, which is, yeah, but considering I don't do very many miles on it, that's, yeah, it didn't die from use, it died from age. So I stupidly tried to take the head and barrel off with it in the frame. I've undone a few of the engine bolts already, but yeah, there's no way you can get the head off with the engine frame. I have managed to find on eBay a head and a barrel and a piston, so hopefully that's all that's required, but I haven't bought any gaskets yet, so I want to get the head and barrel off before I decide. Yeah, it could be terminal inside, who knows. So yeah, I'm going to get the engine out. First things first, even though I was halfway through trying to get the engine out, I realised I haven't drained the oil, so I'm going to do that first. And as I suspected, it's pretty clean because it's probably only done 100 miles, if that oil. While I'm waiting for that, I'm going to take a few bits and pieces off that don't really need, might get in the way. So footrest, for example, looks like it's a likely one. Do I have I'm going to get my 1/2-inch adapter. Also, Ted's excused from duties on this at the minute because I wasn't sure whether he might get oily or not, and I've been told that he dies if he gets oil on him, so I have to be a little bit careful about that. So yes, lovely bike this. Don't know if you've ever ridden one, but I think I'm right in saying they're the first real production supermoto, possibly. And I'll whip the sprocket off too. I've got a 1/2-inch one of those. Yeah, that one. Hopefully I can just slide that out. Yep, that's good. What else can I take off? Gear lever perhaps? No, maybe that might be useful for lifting it with. So the head steady is loose. All these mounts at the front, I think. Exhaust. Let's take this off first and see what happens. last major job I did on this was the water pump. The water pump seal was leaking, and the old ones are no longer obtainable, and they're nearly always they get knackered when you try to take them apart. That's a technical term for ruined. And so I had to buy a complete new. This is a remanufactured. It's a new unit basically. I think it's better constructed. You can take it apart. It's got a little circlip on here, and I think you can take it apart and change the seals, which is very nice. Still being made those, I think. Not cheap, but I think I paid more for that pump than I paid for the entire bike. But there we go. It was scrapped without it, basically. Let's take this little, not really a bash guard, but it's a guard of some sort. So the engine's going to drop forward. I'm going to take this one out, I think. I put all these bolts in the place they came from so I don't mix them all up. I forget where they came from, and hopefully there won't be any left over at the end. What's interesting is now I've got this off, it seems there's a lot of room there, so it looks like it's going to be quite easy to get this out. Might be famous last words. I think that's enough oil now anyway, so we can put the drain plug back in. And I'll move this out of the way. Okay, the rest of the, let's get the crash guard off completely. Lovely dripping of oil on my arm. Where did I put that? It's got some odd fasteners on here. There's the one underneath is a one Allen key, one bolt. That's interesting. I think I vaguely remember repairing this, and there's a helicoil up in here that's wound itself out at the top. Maybe I'll go, when I put this back, I'll go for the next size up bolt. Will be easier, I think, than a helicoil in that. Yeah, it doesn't like that. It's all kind of got mangled. It's wound itself out the other side. Never mind. Okay, put that one back. Right. So I can see one bolt there, one bolt there. I need to get this rock hard water pipe off. Easiest way to do that. I think it's up here. I can't remember if I drained the water out or not. I suspect not, so I'm going to have to go and get a bucket. Be back in a second. I think there's a drain. Looks like a drain and a bleed screw there. With a bit of luck. Looks like maybe I did drain it out. I wonder if when I get this out, I'll think, while I'm here, I should repaint the frame. We'll see how I feel about that. This pipe looks really hardened, and I suspect I'm going to struggle to get this off, but we'll see. Come on. Okay, let's clip off. Oh, spoke too soon. Okay, so the exhaust is clear. Whether it's clear enough, I don't know. That pipe is clear. I've got that's the solenoid for the starter. I guess I need to, unwire the starter. Looks like the next thing. Just take the exhaust off. Let's see whether he wants to come off. I'm going to have to take the whole thing off. Main power for the starter motor. Just have to trust me about this bit. It's only a single wire attached on the back of the starter motor. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, clutch cable. Can I can just loosen that off, I think. Let's cut the cable off. While I'm here, what else? This. Oh, I already took that off. So I think, should I take the carburetors off? What do you think? Yeah, because I've got all the throttle cables and everything, right? Or should I just take the throttle cables off? What's the quickest way? Take the whole throttle assembly off? No, all the wiring. Okay, we'll just... Will that just slip out there now? Yep. That's one. That was tricky, but it comes out anyway. Okay, throttle cables off. Spark plug is disconnected, I think. So, bottom engine bolt. Sorry, I didn't give you a noise warning then. breather or overflow for the carburetor. Oh, they're going to be... I'm going to have to get the air filter off, aren't I? Okay, let's undo. The carburetor. Oh, undo, blimey, it's loose. That's interesting. I don't recall loosening that. Does that mean that? I think I need to go and get my jack and put it under the engine. Remember where it is. So, if I jack this up. This luck, that will take the weight off that bolt, that bottom bolt. What do we think? Yeah. Let's give it a spin from the other side. Loosen this top bolt as well. Surely that should be moving now. Thing is, I only need to just take the weight off it. Might need a bit more of a persuader. Let's just put the punch on the end. Is it going to drop or rise when this bolt comes out? It's all going to come crashing down on my head. Apologies for the noise, it's right by the microphone. It's almost out. And that's not long enough anymore. Oh, a little bit more there. Still not quite out. There. So that's the bottom engine bolt out. Just leaving the top one, right? I can see the engines drop forward. So, do I just balance it on the jack? This one seems very free. So I don't think there's very much holding the engine in now, apart from the rubbers on the carburettor. But I don't know. It feels like it weighs. Oh, it's all. Stator wiring. Stator wiring. Stator comes off, no problem, because I took that off before. Should really get something to tie that out of the way. I'll do that in a sec. Neutral light switch. There. Some other switch. Oil pressure maybe. Probably. And we've got the timing pickup. At least I assume it's the timing pickup. I'm going to pop these back in here before I forget. So the fewer screws I have to figure out where their home is, the better. So I'm hoping the parts list now is just going to be gaskets. Oh, and a cambelt, of course. But I'll worry about that in a minute. It all got a bit crusty in here because when I had the water pump leaking incident, but say after I replaced that it was all still running fine. Okay, so that's all those wires. So I'm going to get something to tie this up out of the way. Yeah. So they get cleaned up and maybe get someone to come and help. Okay, well, it was done off camera, unfortunately, because my assistant didn't want to be on video this time, but that's fine. It wasn't too difficult in the end. We had it balanced on the jack there. I'd missed one pipe at the front to disconnect. The breather pipe came off fairly straightforward. Did I miss anything else? The carbs actually came out of the airbox rubbers very easily, but they're dangling down. I've tied the stator up so that it doesn't get damaged. Oh yeah, I missed a coolant pipe off at the front that was still connected. But basically, once all the bolts are out, just jiggle it forward a little bit. it rested on the jack, lowered the jack down, brought it out sideways. Oh, I had to completely take off the head steady as well, just to make sure it wasn't in the way. That may or may not have been necessary. But yeah, on to the exciting bit now, which is take the head and barrel off, or take the head off and have a look and see how bad it is. I've already taken the nuts off here because I tried to get it off before I took the engine out. So yeah, I'll get it set up over on the bench, which is the garden table at the minute, and we'll have a look. See you in a minute. So I almost had to fire Ted there because he'd forgotten to use the sound muff thing there, so we're getting a lot of wind noise. But anyway, here is the motor. These are the replacement parts that I've got. I've not actually inspected them yet, but the piston certainly looks alright, and the head doesn't look like it's had any contact or anything. But I'm waiting for the really exciting thing now, is to see what's under here. I have not taken it off, so I haven't seen it yet. 4 bolts to take off here for the head. I think they hold the head and the barrel together, and I took those off while it was in the frame because, as I said before, I stupidly thought I could just lift this off. Anyway, there are a couple of pry points which look like, if I'm gentle, yep, that's coming, and gentle, and I don't bust the bottom fin off. Yep, that's moving. So, the moment of truth. And the good news, I can see already, I think. Anyway, let's get this off first without dropping everything. Ha! Well, the valves are all dropped. Let's see if you can see that, or maybe I'll get the camera closer. So, I think the good news is, well, there's clouted. Oop. So these are the inlets. This hit the inlets, and exhaust is at the front. So there's just tiny little marks on the piston where the exhaust has hit. So, although it's an interference engine, I think the interference must be very small. But anyway, these valves are, yeah, they look, I think they're slightly bent, and they're all massively wide open, which explains why. The thing that amazed me was there was no compression at all on this. When I thought I thought the piston had exploded or something. But yeah, these valves are like massively wide open. There's a 10mm gap around there, so the valves are scrap. But yeah, amazingly, I'm not sure I need to do anything with that bottom end. I don't see the reason to change that at all. I think I just change the head. I don't think I should disturb this. So, you're right up there, Ted. Yeah, well, that bore is just super smooth. What's this one like? Yeah, I'm not gonna touch that. I'm not gonna touch that. I'm going to leave the barrel and everything well alone. New head gasket, obviously, which I will order. But yeah, it could be just the valves. Apparently the valves are not obtainable. But the head doesn't. I mean, I've taken engines apart before where the camshafts, where the cam belt was broken, and carnage inside. But this is, yeah, they've just bent the valves. They've stayed stuck open, but the interference is almost nothing. I don't see any reason to change that at all. So I need a head gasket. Swap the inlet stub. What's it called? Inlet manifold. Swap that over. Swap over the cam belt pulley because this one doesn't have one, and this spring, and I think a couple of these exhaust studs. I'll put these on new, so a couple of those are probably better than the ones on this other head. Well, yeah, I'd say that's the result. So head gasket, cam belt. That's all I need. Great. You can start recording sound now, Ted.